It was a warm summer evening in Richmond, British Columbia, when a man walking near an abandoned house noticed something off. In the backyard of the property, he saw something on the ground. At first, it looked like discarded clothes. But as he stepped closer, his stomach dropped. There, lying in the grass, was the partially decomposed body of a woman. Her hands and feet were bound. A black nylon stocking was tightly wrapped around her neck. The woman had been missing for 2 weeks. Her name was Cindy James. A nurse, a sister, a daughter, and a woman who had spent the last 7 years of her life trying to convince the world that someone was out to kill her. The question was, had they finally succeeded? Or had Cindy, in some desperate, twisted act, orchestrated her own demise? Let's go back to where it all began. Cindy James had once lived a normal life. A hard-working nurse, she was independent, well-liked, and lived alone after divorcing her husband, Dr. Roy Makepeace, a psychiatrist 18 years her senior. Their divorce in 1981 was amicable. At least that's what Dr. Makepeace claimed. Cindy, however, had a different story. Because right after the divorce, things started happening. At first, it was just small stuff. Phone calls, where no one would speak on the other end. Then it went from silence on the other end to whispers. And then threats. And finally, the escalation. Cindy reported break-ins, but nothing was ever taken. She found strange messages on her doorstep, words scribbled in red ink, sometimes cut out from magazines, ransom note style. She claimed someone was creeping around her house at night, watching her. Police were called, over and over again. But each time, no footprints, no fingerprints, no witnesses, nothing. Was Cindy paranoid? Or was someone playing a long, sadistic game? And then came the first attack. January 27th of 1983, the first assault. Cindy's close friend Agnes Woodcock stopped by Cindy's house to check on her. She knocked, no answer. Feeling something was wrong, Agnes went around back and froze. There, lying on the ground beside her house, was Cindy. She was dazed, semi-conscious, and shaking. A black nylon stocking was tied around her neck so tightly it had cut into her skin. In her hand, a paring knife stabbed through her own palm. Next to her, a note pinned to the ground with another knife. The message, "You're dead, Cindy." She survived, but she told the police that she never saw her attacker. From that moment on, Cindy's life spiraled into a waking nightmare. The calls became more frequent. One night, she answered the phone. A deep, raspy voice whispered, "Cindy, you're gonna die." And then came the animals. A decapitated cat was left on her porch. A dead dog was found in her yard. Another time, someone even strangled her dog with a stocking, though it survived. And yet, no evidence, no fingerprints, no suspects. Cindy was terrified. She hired private investigator Ozzy Caban to help her. Caban was convinced Cindy was in danger, but even he admitted there was something strange about her claims. Police, frustrated with the lack of evidence, began to suspect that Cindy was orchestrating everything herself. But why? Why would a woman brutally beat, strangle, and torment herself for years? Cindy's family and friends stood by her. She wasn't crazy, they insisted. She was scared. Then, in 1988, Cindy was committed to a psychiatric hospital by her doctor after what police deemed a suicide attempt. She told her family, "They're gonna kill me." Months later, her body would be found. April of 1986, Cindy is found in a ditch. At 3 a.m., police received a frantic call from a passing driver. A woman was lying in a ditch, barefoot, beaten, nearly frozen. It was Cindy. Her hands and feet were tied behind her back. She had cuts and bruises all over her body, and she was suffering from severe hypothermia. She told police she had been abducted, but there were no witnesses, no signs of a struggle. Being tied up, hands and feet behind the back, that might be a sign of a struggle. But investigators even started to doubt her. Perhaps the most disturbing event happened in November of 1988, with a fire breaking out in Cindy's basement. A neighbor saw it and rushed to help. But when he ran to her door, it was locked from the outside. By the time Cindy escaped, the arsonist had vanished. When police arrived, they found something odd. The phone line had been cut, but from the inside. Was Cindy staging this, or was her tormentor escalating? By now, police were extra skeptical. They believed Cindy was either lying or deeply troubled. They put her under surveillance, but nothing ever happened while she was being watched. May 25th, 1989. Cindy disappears. One night, Cindy vanished. Her car was found in a parking lot, and inside the car were groceries, a wrapped gift, and a receipt showing that she had just been shopping. There was blood on the driver's seat, but Cindy was gone. 2 weeks later, her body would be found. Hands and feet again bound, and black stocking around her neck, and a lethal dose of morphine in her system. The police ruled it suicide. But how does someone tie themselves up after injecting a fatal dose of morphine? Her family didn't believe it. Her private investigator didn't believe it. I don't believe it. Even the coroner refusing to call it a suicide, the official ruling, unknown cause. Cindy's cryptic relationship with her ex-husband, Dr. Roy Makepeace, was a psychiatrist, which made investigators wonder. Did he manipulate her? Did he gaslight her into believing that she was being stalked? Or did Cindy confide in him about something real and he dismissed it as paranoia? In a chilling twist, after Cindy died, Dr. Makepeace handed over voicemails that he had received supposedly from Cindy's stalker. In them, a deep, raspy voice threatened Cindy's life. But police believed that they could have been staged. Despite his questionable involvement, Makepeace was never arrested, nor was he officially a suspect. Another detail in this case was Cindy's growing fear and PTSD-like symptoms. If I had somebody stalking me, I think I would definitely have fear and PTSD. Cindy moved multiple times, at least 6 times within a short period, trying to escape her stalker. She changed her last name, her phone number, even her lifestyle, but the threats never stopped. She began to withdraw from family and friends, scared that anyone close to her was in danger. She was known to be increasingly anxious, possibly suffering from severe PTSD. Her friends reported that she barely slept, would check her windows obsessively, and kept lights on all night. October 1988, Cindy was found barely conscious inside her own car, half dressed, with both hands and feet bound together. Again, a needle mark was found on her arm. She claimed that she had been drugged and abducted, but could remember nothing. Police found no footprints around the car, despite the fact it had rained earlier. She was attacked on multiple occasions, but never fought back. Why? Or was she drugged every time? Police found no evidence of forced entry into her house after multiple break-ins. Cindy had a fatal dose of morphine in her system, but morphine could take minutes to 2 hours to take effect. Police ruled that she tied herself up before she died. But how does someone inject themselves with enough morphine to kill themselves, tie their hands behind their back in a knot, and then just wait to die? Her body was so badly decomposed that they couldn't determine when she actually died. Was it right after she vanished, or days later? Or if someone else injected her? Or was it self-inflicted? Before her death, Cindy reportedly told her family, "I know who was doing this, but I'm too afraid to say." If Cindy did know her stalker, why didn't she expose him? And if Cindy was making it all up, sabotaging herself, why would she do it for 7 years straight? Going to extreme lengths, moving houses, hurting herself, setting fires. And if she was being stalked, how come no one ever saw her attacker? Why did Cindy tell people that she thought the police were covering something up? After her death, police quickly ruled it a suicide, despite the fact that the coroner even refused to say how she died. Many people believed police were either incompetent and ignored the case, or were covering up something more sinister. After years of being afraid to say who she thought was behind it, she did finally tell the police she suspected someone. In her early report, she hinted that she believed it was someone that she knew, but when pressed, she refused to name him. She told the investigators, "I don't want to get anyone in trouble." This statement is extremely strange for someone claiming to be terrorized. Why would she protect someone trying to kill her? Cindy's family and friends had doubts, but not about her sanity. Many of Cindy's loved ones believed that she was being stalked, but they also admitted that something just wasn't adding up. Her best friend, Agnes Woodcock, firmly believed that Cindy was telling the truth, but even she was confused by the lack of physical evidence. Cindy's mother, Tilly Hack, was convinced that her daughter was murdered. Cindy's private investigator, Ozzy Caban, stated, "She was either the most elaborate hoaxer ever, or she was the most tormented woman that I've ever met." Cindy James lived in terror for 7 years. Either she was deeply mentally ill with multiple personalities and more, or she was hunted by a stalker that was so good that no one even saw them or any evidence. So was she so psychologically tormented that she created her own terror? Had she been trying to convince others of a danger that never truly existed? Or did someone commit the perfect murder? One thing is certain. Cindy James knew something, and she took that secret to her grave. Her death certainly left more questions than answers. Cindy James' case remains one of Canada's most baffling cold cases. So what do you guys think? I do believe she finally stated, I know to her family at least, that she believed her ex-husband was her stalker and behind it. I believe she was so scared, so freaking scared. I believe he really probably threatened her family, as crazy psycho abusers do. Sounds like he'd had some kind of problems, and maybe he was obsessed with her. And, she was finally trying to get away and have her own life. I looked at that photo of her when she was found. I do not believe she tied up her own hands behind her back, especially after putting morphine into her system, which could take not that long to kill her. It's just sad. I'm very sad that it was made to look like she was behind her own terror and death. I'm angry. I don't think she was, anyway. I believe that her ex was. And I hope one way or the other someday the truth is revealed for her and for her family. I believe her family already knows. They just haven't got justice. I do hope that this case has gone back into and she can get justice and so people know that she wasn't behind her own terror and demise. Just times were so different. No street cameras, no alarm systems. DNA technology is so much more advanced today. I'm very sad. Thank you all for watching this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it.